Key Feature Friday! Nailed it! Second try, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was the second try. Fini-san, my man, product owner. Also, amazing chauffeur. Uber, CM Uber. Just kidding, don't sue us. Let's go! Okay, we're gonna talk about CMEXE.io, CMEXE.io this week. This is our 100% web-based production track and trace product. So the idea here, there's two big feature releases we had in the last 2 weeks. One is what we call light tracking, the ability to track from a bill of materials without having a digital 3D model. This is also the ability, this is using a 3D model. We significantly increase the productivity of how fast you can set up a project to go from a model of any CAD, BIM authoring platform to ready for parts and assemblies, cargo, ready to track. So for example, here what we have is the ability to visualize the model, click on one instance of a referenced part, and then I can just go ahead here, click that nut in this case, see there's 300 of them, instantly it will highlight in the viewer every single other part of that same instance. When you upload a model into CMEXE.io, a bunch of magic happens. We're calculating lengths of parts, we're grabbing attributes, but we're also doing some comparing of geometry to find like parts inside the model, and that way we can attribute that in the bill of materials. So now, talking about a curtain wall project, I'm going to go here and click on this panel type. It's going to highlight instantly in the viewer. I can zoom in here, visualize this, the full details of the fabrication model directly in the web viewer browser. Looks pretty nice. I've found all the other instances of that assembly type. Now what we want to do is go from the model, bill materials, and into a tracking ready product. So I'm going to take this assembly and hit assign tag. Now once I go here, I have a choice to go part type or assembly type. In this case it's a curtain wall assembly. I'm going to go to curtain wall. I've already created in the company catalog or the company template that in this curtain wall assembly type, we want to track the stock material of aluminum and silicon. I assign that, get to the next page. Now I've tagged this as a curtain wall assembly. Now I want to go into the next, which is the workflows. In this assembly type here, I've already stored a workflow that could be for internal production. You could also have a workflow for outsourced production. If I want to visualize that workflow and edit, I can preview that here. I'm going to go in and it's fully modular. You can create any workflow. In this case, it's start, release from design, in fabrication, fabricated, assembled, installed. And you can also define what roles of what personas are allowed to progress certain statuses, review, do QA, QC, et cetera, So once I've got my parts and assemblies, bill of materials tagged to the model, I just create a workflow. Next is to just define what project roles go in this. Once you've defined who can do what inside your project roles, so you have full traceability of which activities have happened, you just go ahead and say lock and start tracking. Once I start tracking, instantly I have a dashboard, a live dashboard of all parts and assemblies being tracked, and then I can also visualize on the 3D. For example, in this case, I'm going to report assembly. I can see that the parts that the assemblies that I tagged here are now inside our report and in no status. So as I progress QR codes through the production planning, this will automatically visualize where all parts and assemblies are visualized on top of the model. That's it. CMEXE.io, 100% web-based production track and trace. Key Feature Friday.